I must admit that as I approached today, I wanted to stop time and hold on to Kayleigh just a little longer. I know I was selfish, but I didn't want to give her away all the time knowing that I had to. I really knew it was the right time to walk her down the aisle and hand her over to Craig's loving and devoted care. And as I've got to know Craig over the last few years, I've come to the inescapable conclusion that that will be very, very good care. So on reflection, I was selfish, but it is the right time to hand Kayleigh over and for me to walk away. So have a good life, and may the love you share forever remain as beautiful as the bride looks today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand, raise your glasses and drink with me a toast to the health and happiness of Kayleigh and Craig.
I've known Craig all the way since nursery, as I've said, but we must have had a falling out on the playground and we didn't really reconnect until high school in Mudchurch. He's been my best friend all my life and we've been through a lot together. We've had our fair few fights and arguments, as we know, as all high school teenage lads do, but we always reconciled not too long after, mostly with me on the end of the apologies. And let's also not forget Kayleigh, the beautiful bride. Craig was essentially a mess until he met Kayleigh. And now instead of going out and getting drunk and waking up in the bed in the morning hugging a kebab, he watches Disney films in matching PJs with a hot chocolate and then calls it an early night. They're an absolutely wonderful couple, and obviously you can tell how happy they are that everyone's here today to celebrate it, especially through the tough times, as we said a few years ago. They have a beautiful home with a beautiful dog called Luna, and I'm looking forward to all the happy times we spend together in the future. I know there'll be many and more to come. I'd like to leave you all today with a quote from a 1989 film called When Harry Met Sally, starring Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal, and I really think it sums up today what sums up what today is all about. And the quote is, when you realise you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. Now if everyone could raise a toast to Craig and Kayleigh.
I've known you for as long as I can remember, one of my first ever friends, and it's stayed that way since reception, and I don't think I can get rid of you. Even if I try, because believe me, I've tried. We've had so many experiences and nights out, which I'm kind of glad they're not as crazy anymore, because I don't think my old self can recover as quick as we did back then. But we continue to grow and gain new experiences, now just ones we can actually remember. I think there's been way too many we don't remember, a majority of them should probably stay that way. We've gone from little tiny babies to primary school stars to you being the best corner shop corner shop there was in secondary, then to us being reckless young adults, finding you locked in a car crying and the firemen coming to save you, to me finding you on the SOS bus drinking tea and toast because, as you would say, you would need to eat, or the countless times you've taken me out because the alcohol tripped you up, and let's just say your mum and dad were not impressed with any of us growing up. But they forgave us countless times, and maybe because we sung Wonderwall for them when we didn't even know the words. And somehow it still gets played to this day, every time with your family gathering. And then finally to us growing up, well, you growing up, buying your house, your Luna, and finally getting married. I'm so proud of you, who you are, and I would not change any of our experiences for the world, because they will make such a good story for our kids one day, when they're old enough to understand we really did live our best lives. Where do I start? But let me start by saying I know I'm your favourite, always have been and always will be, sorry girls. And we can just settle this today, that I pledge to forever wind you up and expect breakfast every time I stay over. And I will continue to make your favourite dishwater cup of tea, because I know that's what you love. But on a serious note, I cannot thank you enough for taking in our Kay and loving her and caring for her. We've been doing it for way too long and we needed a break.
For a few years, we essentially had a long-distance relationship, and yes, the comparisons with Gavin and Stacey are not lost on me. It's said that absence makes the heart grow fonder, and I would certainly agree with that. In 2019, you moved in with me and my mum and my dad to Slingsby Drive. You moved your whole life up north to be there for me, my mum and my dad when my mum was ill. You will never know how much that meant to me. Kayleigh, it's very hard for me to pinpoint when I knew I wanted to marry you, because I think I probably knew from day one. You are my best friend, sorry Tom, the first person I want to speak to when I wake up and the last person I want to speak to when I go to sleep. You wind me up, you make me laugh, and you certainly keep me on my toes. I love you. And the day I proposed and the day you said yes was the best day of my life until today. As you may have seen, the moment I saw Kayleigh walking down the aisle, I genuinely thought my heart was going to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, a toast to my wife, Kayleigh.